Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel for another video in World of Warships. This one we're looking at the Immelmann, or I have no idea how the fucking pronounce the name. It's a tier 10 German aircraft carrier. That, if I remember correctly, you get it for coal. So I got mine to drop, so I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you get it for coal though. I'm saying that there, it's definitely a weird carrier, especially coming from mainly playing Audacious and Malta. But it's definitely a weird one with the skip bombers. It took me a lot of time to get used to it, but it does seem to be pretty fun, to be honest with you. Definitely solid carrier, especially the skip bombers. They do like to start fires, so they are very good that way. Now, the fact you are limited to 2 types of squadrons is a bit poor. You don't get access to rockets. Not what you call the best, but it's still a very capable carrier. So for survivability, it's got 65,000 hit points, 22% torpedo reduction, so not bad at all in regards to the hit points. Aircraft, you get 3 attack flights of lockable 190 D8 torpedo bombers. You get 12 per squadron, 4 an attacking flight and 24 on deck. Speed is 158 knots and max is 199, engine boost 22 seconds, and reload time on the boost is 36.4. Hit points are 1,640 per plane, so it's not too bad. It's 64 seconds for aircraft preparation, so not too bad at all, actually, not too shabby. Well, my current build isn't maxed yet. Need to get a 19 pounder, if that's possible. I think it's 21 points on our max. Only have 10 at the minute, so I'm pretty sure I could get these a bit higher. Well, I shouldn't say higher, a bit more reduced. So 24 aircraft on deck, and it is pretty typical in regards to the torpedo damage. 1 the payload, 35 knot speed, 6k range, 170 meter arming distance, and 4,767 per torpedo. Now for the attack, well, for the skip bombers, you get PA-152s. Pretty cool plane, love them in War Thunder. So hit points 1,138, max speed, well sorry, the speed is 187 knots, max speed is 230, holy fuck, they're a fast bastard. Engine boost 22 seconds, engine boost reloads 36, attacking flight 4, aircraft per squadron 12, and 24 on the deck, with a 60-second preparation time. Detectability is pretty standard like another aircraft, 10 kilometers, bombs and payload 1, max bomb damage is 11k, and a penetration capacity is 68 millimeters, with a 63% chances of fire, with essentially 2 bounces per bomb. So yeah, you can nearly are guaranteed a fire in every drop as long as you hit your target. With a pretty insane max damage actually if you manage to penetrate properly. 1. Get 12 times fuel 105 secondaries. 6.9 kilometer range. Pretty sure it's like 6.7, but I've got that 5% thing on the for the flag. 3.4 second on the reload. So pretty standard secondaries, pretty standard 105s. You do get access to death charges, obviously. Focke-Wulf 200 Condors, 25-second reload time. You get 1 attack flight. Max damage is 4,900. AA defense is pretty solid. You get 11 times quad 30mm guns, 12 times dual 105s for continuous damage 410, shell explosion damage 1,540, and 35% reinforcement rate with a 5.2 kilometer firing range. Maneuverability is okay, max speed is 32 knots, turning circle radius is 1,200, and rudder shift is 16.4, so not too bad for a carrier. Not the worst, not the best. Detectability by sea, 13.6. Detectability by the depths, depending on where the submarine is, 0 to 14.2. 14.2 by air, and 2 kilometers is your detectability. Pretty much, her hull is the exact same as the Manfred von Richthofen, so it's not too bad. Now she's more of a support wing than an actual damage dealer because her alpha strike is pretty piss poor. It's rather pretty much your main damage is coming from fires and floods, so it's not too bad in that regard. Her planes are fragile in some aspects, but you've got a pretty sizable hangar, so as long as you're not just throwing them away, you're going to be fine in regards to planes. Usually The TA-152s will be your main damage dealers when it comes to causing fires, as it's got a 63% fire chance with a 68 mil penetration, so it's not bad as long as you can hit superstructures on battleships. Cruisers, you can really hit them anywhere, but same as destroyers, but they're quite hard to hit. My personal opinion. So to round it up, pros over, strong secondary guns, very fast plane speed, quick plane regeneration, quite a large reserve of plane, and pretty decent hull protection actually for a carrier overall. Especially, it follows the idea of Grav Zeppelin, pretty decent hull protection, which is good. Flight deck is 50 mil, so it will bounce something. At the same time, it will mean all our shells will bite in quite hard actually, but not too bad. It's limited to plane strikes, which isn't the best to be truthful with you, and the plane health isn't excellent. So really, you do have to play smart with this. Get in, get your strikes, especially with the skip bombers. Mainly because they will deal the most damage because of fire. Drop, if you can, accurately at longer ranges to avoid most of the AA. Personally speaking, that's what I usually do. Sometimes I go for the closer drop to try and get two places with, well, two targets on the bombs. That you'll see later in the video, actually. Now, she is piss poor at damaging capital ships at times because of torpedo reduction and the fact that their armor is quite thick, so you have to be, yeah, as I said, you have to hit superstructures and aim for places that you'll start fires. And strikes, you have to strike them perpendicular. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way. They have to be perpendicular to where you're striking to hit them. That's a very solid way of putting it off how it does. Now, because she is technically a premium ship, she does get premium bonuses, and you don't have to research anything, so that is a big positive. Now, for optimal configuration, most are pretty standard recommendations. Air group modifications 1, aircraft engines mod 1, secondary battery mod 1, torpedo bombers mod 2, concealment mod 1, and flight control modification 2. Pretty standard overall. Now, for your first point for commander skills, there's a few things you can do. Like, you can do last gasp, which is pretty smart actually. I quite like the last gasp. Improved engine boost is pretty solid as well. Or search and destroy 10% of the patrol planes. I personally prefer last gasp. Number 2, I always go for improved engines. Always. Just have that. I've noticed that the faster you can get in and get out, more likely you are to survive. The planes will survive. Now, torpedo bomber torpedo bomber with the 10% arming distance is pretty handy to have, but definitely go for the improved engines 100%. Aircraft armor is not a bad choice for number 3. Same as survivability expert. Personally speaking, I prefer aircraft armor, personally. For number 4, I went enhanced aircraft armor to try and make the planes a bit more survivable, as they can be very fragile at times. Now, you could also go for proximity fuse, which is not a bad choice actually, because it means you'll be able to start far more fires. Or bomber flight control. Personally speaking, I'm going for enhanced aircraft armor, then probably proximity fuse, as the fire chance are pretty solid already, and I'm dropping from distance anyway. So I might as well try and buff my torpedo bombers out a wee bit and make them a bit better. In regards to the aircraft, you get your CAP fighter, which is pretty standard. Damage control party. Torpedo bombers are standard as well. In-flight repair are patrols fighters. Engine coolant, same as skip bombers, engine cooling, patrol fighter. So not much difference, to be very honest with you. Now, personally speaking, for signal flags, it's a pretty menagerie of what you want to run for it if you have them. It's pretty standard one. So Victor Lima, big one. India X-ray. Juliet Whiskey, you know him. Mike Yankee Sussex. November Echo Set 7. Still Set 7, I think I pronounced that right. Sierra Mike and India Delta, they are the main ones that you want to be running. As to be honest with you, you're just reinforcing your potential to get fire damage and torpedo damage, so why not reinforce it? You're not going to suffer for it, reinforce it. Especially when you've got ships with 55% torpedo reduction that you could be going against. Such as Yamato, Satsuma, that type of thing. You really want to maximize your potential for flooding. You want to force them to repair so you can hit them with skip bombers, or you can hit them again with another torpedo run. You want to force them to take the flooding damage. Anyways, is she worth it? Yeah, she is. She's good fun to play. Definitely different and a bit more unique in regards to other aircraft carriers I've played. Definitely need more practice with her. But well, is she worth it? Yeah, 100%. She's solid for what she is. Good damage dealer. More supportive than being aggressive. But yeah, 100%. If you want something different, want a carrier that's very good at hitting the flanks, very good at getting bombers up the side, not the flanks of the enemy, hitting them early on, or hitting them mid-game quite harshly, yeah, 100% go for it. She's good at the flanking. She's good at getting the planes where they need to be, especially the skip bombers. And it means you really can force the enemy to use their damage control quite early in the game. So if you can force them to use it just before the initial engagement, the cruisers are going to have a field day, and so are the battleships, because they won't be able to damage control fires or damage control floods or anything like that there from the DDs or cruisers. Anyways, with everyone, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please do join us over on Discord and over on Twitch, as we are doing more and more giveaways on Twitch. We're trying to build a more and more active Discord community. Anyways, with everyone, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I shall hopefully see you in game.